In the previous two videos, we looked at the effects of tsunami waves in two completely different areas. In Soma City, which lies on the southern flat coast, the tsunami formed high walls of water that broke far in front of the coastline and penetrated deep inland, due to the shallow waters, because of the flat nature of the adjacent coastal land. In contrast, in the northern Noda area, which is made up of relatively wide bays and mountainous coastlines, we could observe tsunami waves in the impressive walls of water that overflowed close to the shores. In this episode, we will visit the south of Iwate Prefecture, which is characterized by a completely different bathymetry of the coastal waters and a different coastal character. Together with the northern part of Miyagi Prefecture, this is an area characterized by deep, funnel-shaped like bays and fjord-like features, which have had a major impact on the very different manifestations of tsunami waves. In this area, there are towns such as Otsuchi, Rikuzentakata or Kamaishi, which are famous for their almost destruction in 2011 and which we have covered in our videos in the past. In this video, we will focus on the town of Ofunato and its surroundings, where we can very well demonstrate the devastating effects of the tsunami in the form of sudden rises in the water level, which is so typical for this area. Welcome to the Top Topics channel. Sit back and let's watch the new video. Ofunato is located almost exactly in the center of the mountainous area bounded by Miyako to the north and Onagawa Harbor to the south. Just 50 miles from the epicenter of the March 11, 2011 earthquake, and was subjected to the direct effect of the tsunami waves. Cities in this mountainous area were the most affected by the tsunami. There are several reasons for this, which I will explain to you. The first is that the bathymetry of the coastal waters is characterized by a steep rise in the seabed just offshore. As a result, the wave was able to reach the shores completely unnoticed and without any loss of energy. The second reason is that the whole area is characterized by deep funnel-shaped bays, which means that these bays gradually narrow towards the shore. As a result, the water is forced into these bays with tremendous force. And at the same time, due to the narrow profile of the bay, there is a strong upwelling of up to several tens of meters. This happens very subtly at first with a gradual rise of the water level in the harbor, followed by overflow of the dikes and gradual flooding of the surrounding infrastructure and buildings. In the final stage, the crest of the wave is pushed into the bay and a very rapid catastrophic flood occurs, devastating everything. At this stage, the water level can peak at up to 100 feet. The third and least known reason is that the tsunami was made up of two completely different waves, each with its source at a different fault location. Unfortunately, in the case of this mountainous region, the two waves were combined, as you can see in the animation, to produce an enormously destructive wave that was beyond anything the Japanese had expected. Note that with this double wave, neither the north nor the south of the affected area was affected, only the mountainous center. Elsewhere, two large waves hit the shore, which was also destructive as we saw in the last video in the Noda area, but not as much as when these waves merged. And that's exactly what happened in the town of Ofunato. As you can see, the town is just a short distance from the town of Rikuzentakata, separated only by this mountain range. This means that the wave that reached the coast was of the same character. However, Rikuzentakata is completely open to the ocean and lies at the end of the fairly wide bay. Ofunato Bay, by the contrast, is hidden behind a wall of hills, and the town may appear to be sufficiently sheltered, but the opposite was true. You know from what we've seen that this is just the perfect combination to amplify the effects of the tsunami that is forced into this narrow space. The first video we are going to look at uniquely captures the arrival of the wave at the edge of the bay, which is bounded by two stone jetties. Note the fishing boats trying to make a last-minute escape from the harbor to the open sea. Some succeed, but unfortunately, others are no longer able to beat the strong current and are pulled back into the harbor. It is very clear to see that the wave is not manifested by any wall of water, but by a gradual upwelling of the entire surface of the adjacent ocean and the gradual pushing into the harbor. It is clear from other shots that the wave initially manifested itself very slightly into the harbor as a slowly rising water surface. But this began to change into a dramatic spectacle within minutes as more and more water was pushed into the narrow bay. The danger of the situation is clear, for example in this footage where very heavy steel containers can be seen being carried away by the water as if they were made of paper. Within a few minutes, the water was very aggressively destroying absolutely everything in its path and began to carry away buildings without any problems. The level thus gradually rose to 35 feet of strong flowing water, which meant the destruction of most of the city and the destruction of everything not more than 35 feet in height. Through the channel of Sakari River, the water penetrated deep inland to the confluence with the Tatsukon River, where the water finally lost its energy and began to flow back into the ocean. And this was the second act of the whole disaster, because the backflow of the water was absolutely extreme in the town of Ofunato. And what the wave itself did not destroy, the backflow of the water perfected and washed away. In some places in the bay, the water reached up to 80 feet, especially in this area called Masichaku, which is on the edge of the bay. In this unique footage, you can see the terrifying outflow of a huge mass of water back into the ocean. The city was virtually destroyed and is one of the worst affected ever. The lack of effective breakwaters and barriers, which were virtually non-existent before 2011, was a big part of that. The local authorities have learned a big lesson from this event, and you can see in these images that they have taken the rebuilding of the city very seriously. The construction of a massive tsunami wall that closed off the entire bay and separated the city from the harbor was an incredible feat of engineering. The wall is designed to withstand the wave even 6 feet higher than the one in 2011. It is an incredible feat, a system that should protect the residents of this hard-pressed city once and for all from the vagaries of the Pacific Ocean. The Japanese have managed to close any loophole here, and the wave should naturally peak behind these waters and return to the ocean without any major damage. The mouth of the Sakari River, whose bed has been concreted and elevated, is to serve as a safety valve so that the water will flow upriver and there should be no danger of overtopping the breakwater in the city. Hopefully a similar event will not happen again and the city will succeed in its fight with nature next time. That's what this video is all about, folks. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please like, subscribe and hit that notification bell so you won't miss any more videos in the future. And I'll look forward to seeing you at the next video.